Welcome back, everybody. My name is Tucker, and in today's video, I'm doing a quiz of sorts. This is like a logic puzzle type thing that I found over here on Sporkle. It was the top sports quiz that I saw in terms of number of plays recently, and it's really, really weird. It's like this logic puzzle thing where if you get one wrong, it resets the whole puzzle and it gives you clues, and you're trying to get through all 30 NBA teams just with the clues that it gives you. It's going to make a little bit more sense once we get into it. I have 20 minutes to try and get all 30, and again, if I get one wrong, it resets everything, which is kind of annoying. But let's go ahead and get into it. So it says the Magic is A1, and then it says all of Shaq's teams are in this column. My in-state rival is also in a corner. So every single team that Shaq played for is in this first column, and F1 would have to be one of those teams. So he played for the Heat, which would be the Magic's in-state rival, which would make F1 the Heat. Okay. Two other East NBA champions from the 2010s are touching me, and one of them would have to be a team that Shaq used to play for. So the Cavaliers would be here. Cavaliers, all the California teams can be found in row B. Shaq only played for one of the California teams, and that was the Lakers. So this Shaq column is making things very nice and easy to start off. Michael Jordan's teams are in the corners, so Bulls, Wizards are the other two corners. Team playing closest to my original home is in D4, which would be the Lakers' original home, which would be the Timberwolves when they were the Minneapolis Lakers. So D4 is the Timberwolves? Yes. Rip City is in B3, that's Portland. The Raptors are not in E2. Okay, Rip City, B3. Let's get that out of the way. We'll put the Trailblazers, and then we'll come back. The Raptors are not in E2. So I think when it says that they're touching, so two other East NBA champions from the 2010s are touching me, I think that can also mean diagonally. So it's telling me that the Raptors, which are an East NBA champion from the 2010s, that isn't the Cavaliers, it's telling me the Raptors are F2, I believe is what that's saying. Okay. Larry Bird's teams as a player and a coach are touching horizontally, which is the Celtics and the Pacers. And the Celtics are a Shaq team. We just don't know if they're C or D. The Bulls are touching vertically with a California team. And we know that the corners, either A5 or F5, is either the Wizards or the Bulls. Okay? There's got to be somewhere else we can go here, right? The whole point of this is that there's some direction you could go every single time. No. Yeah, so the Bulls have to be A5 because the Bulls are touching vertically with the California team and all the California teams are in B, which means that this has to be the Bulls. Okay. The Texas-based teams are all in row D. Okay. That would be Spurs, Mavericks, Rockets. F5 has to be the Wizards now, though. Okay. No clue for the Wizards. The Texas-based teams are in row D. So there's okay. Shaq never played for a Texas-based team. So this is not a Texas-based team. It's Suns or Celtics. Larry Bird's teams as a player and as a coach are touching horizontally. California teams can be found in row B. It's kind of making me feel like we have to guess Suns or Celtics in this first column. I don't think you're supposed to have to guess at any point, but I'm clearly missing something that I'm supposed to be understanding here. The Texas-based teams are in row D, and there's not a Texas-based team that Shaq played for. I guess we're just going to hope that the Celtics are in C1. Okay. And then this would have to be the Suns, right? Okay, cool. Trust process is in E4. That's weird, though. I feel like I shouldn't have had to guess right there. Trust process is in E4, so Sixers. Los Angeles teams are touching. That's huge. So we know that the Clippers are B2 because all the California teams are in B, so it can't be a diagonal. So this is Clippers. Okay, all teams that start with the letter S are touching, which means that this has to be the Spurs, right? Because Texas-based teams are in row D, the Spurs are a Texas-based team, the only one that starts with an S, and the S teams are touching. So this has to be Spurs. Okay. Teams that start with W share the same column, which means that the Warriors are B5, because these are all California teams, and the Warriors are in the same column as the Wizards. The Bucks are in column 4. Did I go past any clue here? Teams start with W, share the same column. Am I missing a W team anywhere? I don't think so. I have this need to like pull up the NBA standings to like go back and forth between them, but I'm going to try not to do that. Well, we know that the Kings are B4 because that's the only other California team left. A team that plays a mile above sea level is also above me. That's the Nuggets, would be up here. There are no mammals allowed in column 3. Okay, not super helpful because we know that this is Rockets Mavericks that's left here, and neither of them are mammals. Like neither of their mascots are mammals. I mean, the Mavericks have a horse, like kind of in their logo, but I don't think that counts as a mammal. So teams who start with W's share the same column. I don't think that there's any more W teams, right? We didn't do the Larry Bird one. The C2 should be the Pacers. New York-based teams are in column 2. Okay, so we know Nets and Knicks are in column 2, either A2 or E2. We just don't know. Okay, I'm sure there'll be a clue later that makes us not have to guess there. No mammals allowed in column 3 is really throwing me off. Because I feel like that should allow me to get the Texas-based teams that are left, but it doesn't. But I don't want to guess and get that wrong. Because like that's making me think that D3 is the Rockets. And it's counting the Mavericks having like a horse in their logo as them being a mammal. But I don't feel like that's right. I don't know, man. If I have to restart this whole thing, I'm going to be mad. We're going to put Rockets D3. Oh my gosh, it was right. Okay, cool. I was not wanting to put all these back in. The remaining teams with flying mascots are in this column. Okay. That's not all that helpful. I mean, we know that D5 is the Mavericks now, which is nice. Okay. Believe it or not, but row C is in alphabetical order. The remaining teams with flying mascots are in this. I mean, the Hawks, the Pelicans, assuming Pelicans can fly. I don't know if they can. Am I missing any other? Oh man, believe it or not, but row C is in alphabetical order. I'm assuming it's the team, like the mascot name is in alphabetical order, not the city name, right? Unless it's really messing with me. How much time do I have left? Oh my gosh, I have less than 9 minutes left. I have 20 of the 30 though, so at least we're on pace. Believe it or not, but row C is in alphabetical order. How? I mean, so if it's based off of like the mascot name, then that means that the Bucks are in F4. So I think that's what it's trying to tell me. Because the Bucks, I think that's what it's saying, is that the Bucks have to be F4. Yes, okay. The team that has been in New York longer is above the other. Okay, so that means that the Knicks are A2 and the Nets are E2, right? Okay, cool. No clues for that. Awesome. All right, we're getting there. We can do this in time. We already got the Bucks in column 4. C is in alphabetical order. So C3 can't be the Hawks. Can it be the Pelicans? It would have to be the Pelicans, right? If we're thinking about, there's no mammals allowed in column 3. The remaining teams with flying mascots are in this column. I really think that C3 is the Pelicans because it's in alphabetical order and it's super close to the Pacers alphabetically. And it's like, it's going to get tough to fit in teams alphabetically. I just don't know what the last team in that one is going to be. Believe it or not, but row C is in alphabetical order. There are no mammals allowed in column 3. So like the Grizzlies can't be in column 3. The Grizzlies have to be C4, C5, or E5. I really think that the Thunder are C. Because I don't think there's anything else, alphabetically that we haven't already used. Because all the W teams have been used, right? I think C5 has to be the Thunder. And I really hope I'm not screwing this entire thing up. Okay. Why is it not giving me clues? Okay. So I think E5 has to be the Grizzlies because it can't be in this column because it's a mammal and it's not between P and T in the alphabet. So E5 has to be the Grizzlies. Okay. An insect lives in row A. An insect. We've got Hawks. I think the Jazz are the other team in column 3 that isn't the insect because that like alphabetically doesn't make sense between P and T. Insect lives in row A. What team is the insect? I can't. How much time do I have left? 4 minutes. I have to figure this out. I think this is like the missing link to the rest of the thing. an insect. I'm pretty sure it's the Hornets. Music is in the bottom row. Okay, so that means that's the Jazz. Okay, that means that the Hawks are E3. Because, right, the remaining teams with flying mascots are in this column. So that's the Hawks. What's the last team? What team am I not thinking of? If I have to, I'll look at the standings, but I have 2 minutes. I really can't think of the one NBA team that I haven't done. I figured it out. You guys know what it is? We've got 1 minute and 20 seconds left. It's the Detroit Pistons. Imagine I get the whole quiz wrong because I spelled Pistons wrong right there. For whatever reason, I couldn't remember the Detroit Pistons. That was honestly one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life. I'm sweating. I was running out of time. I had to guess like 2 different times. And then later in the quiz, I was getting teams right, but there were no more clues. And it was just super frustrating. Wow, that was actually incredibly difficult. I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect to struggle that much. It was super fun, don't get me wrong. Like trying to figure out all these different things was really fun, and I might try and do more of these, but that was, oh my goodness, that was not easy at all. And I would say for the most part, I didn't really have to guess. I'm sure there were 1 or 2 things that I was missing when I went to go guess that I would have gotten eventually, but I felt like I was running out of time. I just had to guess, and ultimately I guessed correctly. I think I guessed like the Celtics one, and then the Thunder one I wasn't sure about, but alphabetically I felt good about it. So, man, that was crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any other, quizzes or things like this you want me to do, then I will definitely check them out. You can leave them down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.